Hello everyone, it's Peter Moran again from Property Central. I'm here to introduce our special guest today, Amanda Melville from our Property Management Department. Welcome, Amanda.
Thanks, Pete.
Great to have you on board. Now, Amanda, you've been involved in property management now for a number of years. Tell me, what are your observations out there in terms of what's happening with the rental market at the moment?
Yeah, at the moment, inquiry has definitely slowed down leading up to Christmas, but there are still people out there looking for a rental property. Hopefully, usually in January it starts to build back up, and we have quite a high demand January, February.
Awesome.
But at the moment it has slowed down.
Okay, so today we're going to talk about the subject of tenancy applications and some advice of what we could suggest to tenants in terms of making sure the application process runs as smoothly and as quickly as possible for them. So I guess the first question to ask you, with prospective tenants, what are some of the things that they should be prepared in terms of documentation they need to provide you with to support their tenancy application?
Yeah, definitely. So it's always good to come to the open home prepared with an application filled out and the supporting documents to hand over. It just gets the ball rolling quicker.
Okay, and some of those documents, would there be things like driver's license,
yeah,
personal referees, employment referees,
definitely, yeah,
bank statements, that sort of stuff?
Rental references, all that sort of stuff. And then giving that to us at the open home then allows us to start the process quicker, enabling them to get the rental property if they're suitable.
Sure. Now obviously there's another way they can do that. You talk about bringing the application to you, but I believe there's now processes in place that they can actually do that online as well.
Yeah, definitely. So they can apply online through our website, or they can apply via email. They can send it through and email it through. They can come into our office, pick up an application form, fill it out. There's a number of ways to do that, yeah.
Okay. Now, in terms of probably the expectation of a time frame, I know sometimes we're dealing with multiple applications on particular properties at any given point in time, but what would you say would be a reasonable time period for a tenant to expect the process to take from the application being submitted to the approval time frame?
Yeah, depending on references coming back and things, it's usually about 3 days.
Okay, all right. And once you're satisfied with all your checks, and we do a fairly comprehensive check, it's like almost a 100-point ID check and reference check, your next step, I believe, you then talk to the landlords to get their decisions on matters, is that right?
Yeah, correct. So we gather all our information that we've got for each prospective application and provide it to the landlord, and then the landlord does make the final decision on who they approve for their property.
Awesome. Okay, so then moving forward from there, we've now had the tenancy application approved by the landlord and by us. We then would contact the tenant and get them to pay some sort of a deposit to secure the property. What sort of figure are we talking in terms of deposit amounts?
Yeah, so we will call them and tell them the good news if they're approved. And they've got 24 hours to provide a holding deposit on the property, which is 1 week's rent, which also goes towards their first week's rent of the property. And then that secures the property until they sign the lease.
Excellent, all right. And I guess probably one final question to ask you. Obviously we mentioned about a number of applications coming through on properties. What do you then do with all those applications for those that were unfortunately missing out on being approved for the property?
Yeah, unsuccessful applications we do hold on to for about 30 days. And if there's another property that comes up that's similar to the one that they've applied for, we'll let them know to see if they want to come through that property and apply hopefully for that property and be approved.
Excellent. I guess probably what that does also is help minimise the vacancy rates for landlords as well when we've got good applicants there waiting in line.
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
Excellent. All right, well thank you very much for your time. It's been valuable information, and we wish you all a great weekend, and thanks again.
Thank you.